Today, Sam Fam Money Play number 8. I call this one Flush 21. It is one of the deadliest slashing play of all times because it has to deal with a manipulation from a handoff into a flush. This play itself is also full of options. You can flush either way. You can flush from the middle, you can flush from the sideline, you can flush from the baseline. The options are limitless and it is one of the deadliest plays I have ever seen. And yes, family, this is also going to be in the Phoenix playbook, and demonstrating for us today is going to be the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the play itself is actually called Fist 3-5 Side. It is a pick and roll ball handler play. And yes, Phoenix playbook for the My Team players and Play Now Online guys. Offline, you can just add it to your custom playbook as you see fit. Now, I personally call this play the Flush 21. Because it actually involves both flush number 1 and flush number 2 from my flush attack series. If you want to catch up on that, you can click the link above. I'll leave one up there for all my flush moves. But this play combines the two of them. And altogether, this against computer is like a guaranteed dunk. But again, once again, if you take it online, it's going to take basketball IQ and such. But it is one of the deadliest slashing plays I have ever seen. So now let's watch it one time in real time. You can see here, I have called the play for Jeremiah Grant. So the 2 guard is going to do a handoff, but we're going to manipulate this handoff and actually turn it into a baseline flush. And to do that, all you're going to do is obviously hold triangle. So see it here again. The play starts off with a handoff, but we're not going to ever do this handoff. We're not doing that. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the handoff into a flush at the right time, and because of the spacing of the offense, this baseline cut is always open for easy layups and dunks depending on the skill level of your player. Now, I've chosen to use the Timberwolves and Knicks to demonstrate this because this Flush 21 play is really good for mediocre players. So if you don't have super talented guys that can't really shoot, I mean, every NBA player can make an open layup and dunk, okay? And this is what that play gets them. Open layup, open dunks. Now, but before we get into the options of the play, let's look at the wrong way to run it. Now, the wrong way to run this is if you turn that handoff into a middle flush. Remember, we want a baseline flush. But if you turn it into a middle flush, you have failed me personally. Alright, so if you run it this way, you have brought shame to the family. You have shamed me. Watch. If you hold triangle too late, he cuts into the middle. You don't want that. I made the shot here, but you don't want that. I mean, look at it here again. I'm clicking triangle too late out of the handoff to turn it into a flush. See, this is too late, and he just runs around Kevin Martin. This middle flush too crowded. Really dangerous layup. Might lead to turnovers. And here you can see it one last time. I'm actually running it with Melo this time. A star player, no less. But because I flushed him too late in this handoff, watch. He goes in the middle, nothing. Waste of time, waste of space. Shame on myself. Obviously, I can turn back into pace motion, and yes, as always, this is supposed to be done in pace motion freelance. I still get the basket here, but I've wasted like 22 seconds of my life, so no. So the correct way to run it is to manipulate that initial handoff out of the play into a baseline flush. And to do that, you just gotta hold triangle earlier. In the previous clips where I have failed myself, it's because I held it too late, or I started to hold triangle down too late. So you can see it here, I'm holding it early. Now the perfect time to do this is, we're calling it for Jeremiah Grant, is when he takes one step towards the follow, hold triangle. Just one step. The moment he takes one step towards the passer, the flush passer, hold triangle. So watch it here again. We're calling it for Jeremiah Grant again. Watch one step. Watch one step towards the follow, I'm holding triangle. That will initiate a backdoor baseline cut. And this cut with the shifting and the baseline cutting is so deadly. And because it's spacing of the play, the baseline is wide open. So if you do it with a throw down dunker like Zach LaVine, guess what's gonna happen, family? Throw downs! That's what's gonna happen. So hold triangle immediately after the flush cutter takes one step towards the passer. I'm talking one step. 2 steps is too many. It'll go middle. So you can see Andre Miller here, a great passer with Zach LaVine again. Watch, one step, we're gone. You see him take one step, hold down triangle, baseline dunking all game long. Here, we're going to run it one last time. The Flush 21 the correct way with Melo. One step, hold triangle, back cut. Oh, where are you going, Andrew Wiggins? Where are you going? Let's go, Melo. So now, obviously, it's not going to work every time. Against computer, it's gonna work a lot. So when it doesn't work, it's okay. You can break right back into pace motion for awesome offense. So you see here, we're calling it for Jeremiah Grant again with a fellow as the passer. He takes one step, we flush him, bad angle, he ran into a follow, so the play is broken, but we throw right back into pace. So those branches you see there, that was actually a pace branch. It has nothing to do with the play. But because we're in pace motion, a pass to the corner will trigger that branch set. So you can see it here again. We're running it between Kevin Martin and Rubio. I clicked it a bit later, so it's my fault. But see, it triggers those pace branches again, but we're not using it. We're just going to swing, use the spacing, Shabazz Muhammad, bangity, bang, bang, bang. And this time, you see the same thing, Andre Miller with Zach LaVine. We're going to run the flush 21. We're going to manipulate the handoff, turn it to a baseline flush. I don't really like it, so I just didn't do it. I cancel it, double tap R1, went back to the middle, pace motion, pick and roll between KG and Wiggins, use the spacing, fills the corner with Andre Miller, ditch it to LaVine, bang! Flush 21 into pace motion. Yeah, good luck guarding that stuff. So now, there's also a option 2. If you don't like the initial flush, or if you just don't want to do it because maybe you run it a couple of times, the user got used to it, you can actually turn this into a sideline flush. So let me take a look. Let me show you what I mean. You see here is a follow and Grant. I'm not even going to flush Grant. I'm just going to let him go through. A follow goes to the corner. Robert Lopez comes up for a pick automatically. We're going to do a sideline pick and roll flush with a follow and Lopez. Just as deadly, family. You can see it here again. This time we're going to run it between Calderon and Melo, with Calderon as the cutter. So I don't want to give it to Calderon. I'm just going to let him cut through. I'm going to go back to Melo and Porzingis on the side and run a sideline flush. Give it to Porzingis, hold triangle, fake the pick and roll. Easy dunk. Now obviously you don't have to run the sideline flush action all the time either. Here I'm calling it for Zach LaVine. I'm going to let LaVine cut through. Kevin Martin is going to go to the sideline himself to the corner. And this actually just triggers a pick and roll. So I'm going to use it. Between him and Payne, we run the pick and roll. Nice catch, nice roll. Easy finish. And there are a couple of more examples, as you can see again. Great throw down by Adrian Payne. And here we're going to run another flush 21 or the fist 3-5 GIF. And you see here, same thing. We're going to let Andre Miller cut through. Zach LaVine's going to go to the corner. We're going to run the pick and roll with KG. We don't like it, so then we space back in the pace motion. We call another pick and roll, but this time we turn it into a flush. So the flow of this play is amazing, and just always be comfortable to flow back in the pace motion if you don't like the initial look. Do not force passes, family. So here, one last time, we're going to go to the sideline. This time we run a sideline pick and roll flush. I don't like this, so I double tap R1 to cancel. Post up, isolation, dang, baseline, throw down. It's all about flow. All about spacing, all about basketball intelligence, read and react. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a summary of just flush 21. I'm just going to let the clips run so you can see it yourself. And yes, this play, the initial action where you manipulate the handoff into a baseline flush, if you get the timing right, is incredible. Online, offline, this is going to get a lot of people. But as they adopt and as they get used to it, this play also has plenty of other options, right? You can go to the sideline flush. You can just let LaVine go through here. Or cut if you want to cancel it. And then you can just go to other stuff. Flow right back into pace motion. Make sure you're in pace motion offense. I mean that middle pick and roll in pace motion with this wing filling up. Deadly, swing it to the corner. So always use this play, the fist 3-5 GIF, with with pace motion. So try this play, let me know how you feel about it. And once again, yes, it's in the Phoenix playbook with the 3-point play, the double tiger, the flush 21, and the pick 6. The Phoenix playbook to me is slowly becoming more powerful than the Dallas one. So pick it up on my team if you can. If you're not on my team, just use it as you see fit. As always, thanks for coming by, family. Hope you love the money plays, more coming soon. And I will see all of you next time.